to the Virtually Speaking podcast. My name is Pete Fletcher, and joining me as always is my good friend, Mr. John Nicholson. John, how you doing, bud?
Good. I've got my dictionary pulled up. I think I'm ready for today.
You're learning some new acronyms, man? Are you widening your horizons?
Look, here's the thing. Anytime you get anywhere near the telco guys, it's just acronym, like, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G, all the G's on top of it. It is impressive the amount of acronyms they have. And, as much I would like to look up what some of these things are on Urban Dictionary, I probably need to make sure I actually know what I'm talking about when I'm hanging out with them.
Well, hey, if you've got some time, man, maybe you can get on a plane, head over to Barcelona because they're going to be talking telco all week. Matter of fact, much bigger than things I've seen. 100,000 people are attending this conference. It's the Mobile World Congress 2025. It's in the in our one of our favorite cities, Barcelona, at the Fira Gran Via.
Yeah, and I love how it's Congress because I'm like, wait, there's a government that of telcos, and I'm like, oh yeah, Congreso means meeting or large convention in Spanish. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, lots of good stuff going on there at the at this MWC 2025, and obviously VMware by Broadcom is going to be there pushing a lot of information with sessions, and there's going to be a big booth presence, and talking about VMware Telco Cloud Platform, which sits on top of our beloved VMware Cloud Foundation. So yeah, really good stuff. I actually had an opportunity to talk to Paul Turner, our VP for products, as well as Anupama, who is one of our product marketing experts for Telco Cloud. They're both going to be in Barcelona, and they shared a bunch of stuff around around what was going to be there. Some of the solutions. There's a bunch of demos at the booth. So yeah, we had a really good conversation covering the whole thing. I'm so sad you missed it, but you're in luck because you can listen to it now.
No, I will. And what's fun is even if you don't live in telco land, it is fascinating learning about how these problems are solved at scale, the type of orchestration. And there's lessons that we learn from these telco customers that we bring back into the product or features that they demand. I mean, they were pushing network function virtualization long before anyone else was trying to figure out how to put a firewall in a VM. They've always pushed the limits, especially on networking and orchestration and operation scalability. So yeah, it's fun peeking over the fence, even if this isn't where you normally live.
Absolutely. And the world of AI has definitely made the telco space much more interesting, which then makes the story that VMware has to offer even more compelling. So great conversation, with Paul Turner and with Anupama, and that's coming up next. Take a listen. And so joining me today to talk all about MWC 2025 is VP from Product Management, Paul Turner. Paul, welcome back to Virtually Speaking.
Hey, great to be back, Pete.
Awesome. And also joining us is our lead for product marketing in the telco space is Anupama. Anupama, welcome to Virtually Speaking.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
Great. So next week, March 3rd through the 6th, there's going to be a great conference. I think we're all aware. It's actually called MWC 2025. This is a large conference. Actually, from what I read, there was going to be close to 100,000 people in the telco space attending. So huge conference. And I'm not sure everybody is aware of, I know people know about VMware Explore and some of the other events, some of the larger ones that are in our data center world. But for those that are not in the telco space or maybe not familiar, maybe Anupama, you can share a little bit about what exactly is MWC 25.
Yeah, definitely. So Mobile World Congress, short form, there's MWC that you mentioned. So it's one of our largest and most influential gathering in the telecommunication industry. So I think for telcos, it's not just a conference, but actually think of it like a innovation strategic hub, right? This is where the service providers, decision makers, vendors, innovators, all are meeting in order to explore new business opportunities, partnerships, and also even get hands-on experiences with some of this latest technology that we are innovating. So you can think of it's just beyond networking event itself, right? It's about learning, it's about sharing, and all the innovations that is happening. So you can hear announcements, product launches, and some have deep dives into the trends that will shape the telecommunication industry going forward. So for anyone in the telco industry, I think MWC is the place to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. And I know you'll be attending next week, and you'll be doing several things there. I want to talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Paul, I know you're also attending lots of customer meetings, talking to customers, partners, et cetera. But I'm curious, from, as a VP for product management inside of VMware by Broadcom, what exactly are the main focus areas for VMware by Broadcom at this event?
Well, I think it's a great event because it's a chance for us to meet with all of our customers. We have many, many large customers actually in the telco space. VMware has actually been in the telco space. We have a product called Telco Cloud Platform that we provide as basically running the core infrastructure for infrastructure operations for mobile operators. And this is really nice because it's an open platform. Importantly, it supports kind of converged operations. So whether you're running VNFs, which is traditional virtual machine-based applications that you're running as part of your network, or whether you're running container-based workloads, so CNFs. We work with, of course, Ericsson, Mavenir, and Nokia. We make sure that that platform can support all of that application ecosystem. So that's really unique. You've got a platform that actually gives you the capability to run converged type of applications and very simplified network operations, which we think is very useful. The other part of converged is the ability it's a same stack and the same capability set that you use for managing IT. So all of your skill sets, all of your ability to cross-pollinate people, but more importantly, you can actually have a converged stack for managing your IT operations and your network infrastructure, and that can lead to great efficiencies across your infrastructure. And then the third is we focus very much on automation, and we're actually going to showcase, and you'll see this from Anupama later on, we're going to actually even showcase some demo some of our workflow automation capabilities that make it even easier for you to deploy applications onto the platform, whether they're, again, CNF or VNF-based applications for your mobile core network. So this is our chance to get in front of customers. We listen pretty closely to those customers. We learn from them. We are in telco for the long term, and we are going to continue to innovate in telco. And join us at Mobile World Congress. For anybody who's going there, we'd love to meet you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so this Telco Data Center is actually, the VMware Telco Cloud Platform. This sits on top of VMware Cloud Foundation, correct?
Yeah, it's actually, if you think of, you get the leading virtualization platform with vSphere, the leading networking capability with NSX, so you can build your virtual network and your secure networks. You've got a leading storage. You can plug into third-party storage, but you have full virtualized storage offerings. But on top of that, you get your workflow automation for telco. You get your TCA, which is our cloud automation for actually doing deployment of applications and container and CNF-based applications, full VNF orchestration, management, and deployment. So really, and then of course integrated in with your ecosystem providers that you care about. And so you've got a platform that comes ready to go, is open and supports 5G networks, 4G networks, 3G networks, supports, and is ready for when we get to 6G, which eventually we will. But it's ready for container-only workloads going forward, and full native CAS orchestration as part of it.
Awesome. So I know, Paul, you mentioned supporting VNFS and CNF. Anupama, what are some of the other use cases that we're seeing for VMware Telco Cloud Platform?
Yeah, sure. So we actually categorized, just like how Paul described about the 3 pillars that we are strategizing our product. Essentially, we are focusing on how we can leverage our platform to provide a unified management for VNFs and CNFs on the same platform. So for example, our platform can support different orchestration options like GitOps and etc. based on customer and NEPS vendor needs. And then let's talk about the IT and network convergence. Again, we mentioned about the convergence that is happening, and we are more and more seeing those use cases that are really to kind of like reduce the footprint and also to help a common infrastructure that will help the operators leverage common platforms, right? So that actually is like if our platform helps them provide a common management domain that can manage both IT and network without changing the platform foundation, right? And then the next aspect is, I'll just quickly touch on to the automation and operation, which is which is one of our key differentiator again, right? So we are able to provide end-to-end upgrades, which I will cover in the next demos that we are showcasing at MWC, which I'll go in depth. But I think end-to-end workflow automation is some of the key enablers that we can help operators to streamline their operations, as well as save cost and energy efficiency, resource optimization, so many things that are advantageous by providing these different common use cases.
Nice, nice. So I know there's going to be a lot of customers there, Paul, and I know you said that you were talking to customers and having several meetings. I think that, I think there's going to be several people there doing meetings, and we've got a booth, and we'll share some of that. But I'm just curious. I know from my perspective, going to events, it's actually probably one of my favorite parts is getting to talk to customers, getting feedback, hearing what works, maybe what they're looking for future innovation, things like that. I'm just curious, what has been your experience going to like MWC in previous years? Like, have you had any customer feedback about VMware Telco Cloud Platform?
Oh, I think it's very, very strong feedback. Europe is a very strong bastion for us in terms of customers that actually use our Telco Cloud Platform. So, 2 customers that we have out there, I'm looking forward to meeting up with BT, who's out there, who uses our platform, in their kind of award-winning network in the UK. I'm looking forward to meeting up with Telia, who's in Sweden, and runs their network operations on us. There's many, many more customers. It's a great chance for us to kind of hear from the customers, see how we can improve the product, to build better products for them, and be in tune with our customers. The telco operations is a very special space. We have to really understand it's not just about building a package set of product and throwing it over the wall of the customer. You actually sit down with the customer to actually implement and design the product for their use, and to make sure that it runs and performs at the scale that they want, at the latencies that they want, has the availability that they need. This has to be a continuous operating platform. Downtime's unacceptable, latency challenges are unacceptable, and performance is key. So we're very focused on that, and that has to be end-to-end performance. So that's where I'm looking forward to also meeting with our partners. The crappy thing is that Anupama has given me no time at all. So anybody who's going out there from VMware by Broadcom, we've got no time in our calendar. She's just buried it back to back. So there's no fun enjoying the tapas in Barcelona, as you say.
Well, I'll leave your personal phone number in the show notes. So if anybody wants to, grab dinner with you and over some tapas and other things, they can pick your brain that way. Yeah, so I know it's going to be a busy event. You mentioned customer meetings. I know you also mentioned meeting with partners, but Anupama, I think you're going to be doing some demos, and I think the booth, from what I hear, it's a big area. There's a lot of folks, but there's a hall 2 in the Fira Gran Via, and that is where most of the vendors are going to be. So yeah, take a look at Hall 2. There's going to be a stand there for Broadcom, and there you will see Anupama. Anupama, maybe you can share some of the demos that people can see if they come check you out.
Definitely. So like you mentioned, I think the major change from last year to this year is we are moving from Hall 3 to Hall 2, just a note. And so I think, again, just like every year, we are really excited for meeting our customers and partners and showcasing our innovations. So essentially, we are really focused on helping the telcos simplify their operations, enhance efficiency, and reduce cost, all while actually accelerating their innovations. And again, the journey to cloud-native networks, which we have been emphasizing over and over, right? So I'll just, there are many demos that we are showcasing, but I want to highlight 2 of the key demos that we are showcasing here, which is, again, related to the 3 key pillars that we mentioned, and also the use cases that really telcos care about. So one of the key demo is focusing on simplifying the operations, again, with our VMware Telco Cloud Platform using Workflow Hub. So just imagine that Paul touched upon having the same infrastructure for managing the 4G and 5G core. So it's really complex, right? For telcos to kind of span from initial deployment, again, to ongoing operations. It's really complex. So how do we help telcos to streamline these operations, the entire process across maybe day 0, day 1, and day 2 operations, right? So think of it like how we are providing a smarter way to handle their deployments as well as upgrades. So it's essentially reducing the manual effort telco operators need to invest in their front. Actually, what this particular workflow hub is actually helping is increasing their efficiency and mainly focusing on the things that really care about, right? That telcos care about. Okay, so let me talk about the another demo that we are showcasing, right? Which is again very much needed for telcos, which is again managing different tiers, multi-tenancy model that we are providing with VMware Telco Cloud Platform. So as telcos are moving again to cloud native, they really need a way to kind of like securely host multi-vendor, multi-domain network functions that we've been mentioning, right, on a single platform without actually compromising again security or performance aspect of it. So what we are providing is a multi-tenancy approach where we enable the operators in order to optimize the resources utilization across the same physical infrastructure that we talked about. So again, coming back to this is the demos that we want to highlight, but there are many demos, like I mentioned, that we are showcasing in our booth. So if you're attending MWC, so please be sure to visit our stand and again, explore the innovations firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw these demos already. They're really powerful. I mean, the multi-tenancy one, especially Paul keyed on a lot of the requirements for being non-disruptive. So the lifecycle management, really powerful stuff. If you're going to be in Barcelona, you know, by all means, swing by Hall 2 and check out these demos. Really good stuff. Also, I know there are some blogs, and I'll certainly be leaving links to these in the show notes. But yeah, one of them is on harmonizing network orchestration and integrations for efficient operations. And the other one, accelerating service time to market throughout network-driven platform customizations. Really good stuff. So be sure to check the show notes of this podcast to get more information on these.
Maybe just a note, we've talked a lot about the software side of how we're innovating for telco. Actually, as Broadcom, our hardware team will actually be there too. There's a lot of innovations we're doing on hardware at the edge, hardware at the network, and optimization. So I'll also swing by the booth if you actually want to see a broader Broadcom story as well. So clearly we're innovating on the software side and the hardware side, end-to-end telco automation, orchestration, and delivery in terms of hardware delivery.
That's absolutely right. Broadcom is a big company, and there's a lot of great offerings out there. So I know you guys are going to have a great time. I wish I could be there with you to share in all the fun, but I'll be watching from afar. So best of luck. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you when you get back.
Sure. Thanks so much. Take care.